Get ready to uncover the shocking truth behind one of TV's most famous stars. Lisa Bonet, who played the beloved Denise Huxtable, had a turbulent relationship with Bill Cosby that was far worse than what fans ever saw on screen. From her bold career choices in Angel Heart to her unexpected pregnancy and departure from a different world, Bonet's clashes with Cosby went far beyond the show. With cryptic comments about a creepy energy and tensions that led to a public fallout, her true feelings will leave you stunned. Don't miss the real story behind the scenes. This is the truth you never knew about Lisa Bonet and Bill Cosby. The time Lisa Bonet spent on The Cosby Show was a mix of groundbreaking moments and hidden tensions, especially regarding her strained relationship with Bill Cosby, who portrayed her on-screen father, Heathcliff Huxtable. As Denise Huxtable, the free-spirited and rebellious daughter, Bonet became a cultural icon of the 1980s, adding a unique edge to the family sitcom. However, behind the scenes, her experience was far from smooth, shaped by creative differences and personal conflicts with Cosby and the show's producers, which eventually led to her departure. Bonet was just 16 when she was cast as Denise, a role that immediately struck a chord with young viewers. Right from the start, she stood out, not only for her acting but for her bold, unique style. In her audition, she walked in with half of her face dramatically made up, a daring choice that immediately caught the eye of Bill Cosby and the producers. They saw something raw and fresh in her that set her apart from other actresses. Her portrayal of Denise, a free-spirited, rebellious young woman, quickly became one of the defining features of The Cosby Show, bringing a new energy to the typically wholesome family sitcom. As the series went on, Bonet's talent continued to shine. Her performance as Denise, a character who didn't quite fit the mold of the typical teenage daughter, was praised for its depth and authenticity. This standout portrayal earned her an Emmy Award nomination in 1986, cementing her status as one of television's most talented young stars. Although Lisa Bonet became a household name for her portrayal of Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show, her real-life background was quite different from the polished, upper-middle-class family depicted on screen. Raised in a predominantly white neighborhood after her parents' divorce, Bonet's upbringing was shaped by the complexities of her mixed-race identity. Born to a Jewish mother, Arlene, and an African-American father, Alan, she found herself navigating two distinct cultural worlds. Her father, a music teacher and singer, was deeply involved in the arts, while her mother, a writer and teacher, encouraged her creativity and individuality. Moreover, Bonet's childhood was far from ideal. Her parents' divorce left her mother to raise her and her brother in a lower middle-class environment. Living in a largely white community, Bonet often felt like an outsider. Her mixed-race identity was something she had to navigate from a young age, which led to struggles with fitting in and reconciling the different aspects of her heritage. These early life experiences deeply shaped her perspective and influenced her choices, especially when it came to her acting career. While the Huxtable family on The Cosby Show presented a perfect, loving home, Bonet's real-life experience was more complex. This stark contrast between her upbringing and the picture-perfect portrayal of the Huxtables added layers of depth to her acting. As Denise, the free-spirited daughter, Bonet became an icon of 1980s television, but beneath the surface, she often felt torn between the world she was portraying and her own life experiences. Despite this inner tension, Bonet's portrayal of Denise was nothing short of captivating. She brought a raw, authentic energy to the role, blending confidence with vulnerability in a way that made Denise both relatable and unforgettable. Audiences couldn't help but connect with her, and the character became a cornerstone of The Cosby Show. But as her fame grew, Bonet began to crave something more. She wanted to stretch her artistic limits and explore deeper, more complex roles. In 1987, Bonet made a game-changing move, leaving behind the safety of her TV family to star in Angel Heart, a dark psychological thriller that was a far cry from the wholesome world of The Cosby Show. The film, directed by Alan Parker, delved into themes of love, betrayal, and the supernatural, offering Bonet a chance to showcase her range in a mature, intense role opposite Mickey Rourke. It was a bold, daring choice, one that would set the stage for her career's next chapter, but also stir tensions with The Cosby Show's patriarch, Bill Cosby. Cosby, who had carefully crafted the image of the Huxtable family as a beacon of positivity and traditional values, saw Bonet's departure into darker territory as a direct challenge to the show's wholesome ethos. For him, The Cosby Show was more than just a sitcom. It was a platform for changing the narrative around African-American families. Bonet's move felt like a betrayal of that carefully constructed image, especially given how integral her character, Denise, was to that vision. When The Cosby Show premiered in 1984, it quickly became a cultural phenomenon, celebrated for its portrayal of a successful, loving African-American family. Lisa Bonet, playing the free-spirited Denise, was at the heart of that vision. Her character's rebellious yet relatable nature struck a chord with viewers. But when Bonet took on the controversial role in Angel Heart, it clashed directly with the squeaky-clean image Bill Cosby had worked tirelessly to build. As Bonet's behavior on set became increasingly erratic, with frequent lateness and absences, tension between her and Cosby reached a breaking point. Behind the scenes, rumors about her unreliability began circulating, and in the fast-paced world of television, where every second counts, Bonet's behavior was starting to chip away at the trust that had once held the show together. Cosby, notorious for his no-nonsense work ethic, was frustrated. The once easygoing atmosphere on The Cosby Show now crackled with discomfort, and the set's usual sense of harmony began to fray. But Bonet wasn't backing down. When she made the bold choice to star in Angel Heart, she wasn't just taking on a role, she was staking a claim as an artist. "I took the film as just a creative choice," she explained, unapologetic. "I wasn't really thinking of Denise or her reputation at all." For Bonet, this wasn't about breaking from the family-friendly image of Denise Huxtable. It was about stretching her boundaries, breaking free of the constraints of a TV role, and stepping into something raw, real, and complex. Her passion for her craft and need for artistic freedom overshadowed any allegiance to the image of the character she had portrayed for years. Bonet's decision was a declaration of self-awareness and independence. She understood that while the world loved Denise, she had her own path to follow, her own journey to explore. If they're fans of Lisa Bonet, I think they'll be very pleased with what they see on screen. And if they're fans of Denise, then they'll just be very surprised, she said, drawing a sharp distinction between her two selves. Her honesty about her artistic vision was a rare and refreshing moment of clarity in an industry where actors often feel boxed in by the roles they play. For Bonet, Angel Heart was more than just a career move. It was a turning point. She was ready to prove that she could do so much more than play the rebellious daughter of a perfect family. The role of Epiphany Proudfoot, with its complexity and edge, was her chance to show she was capable of taking on challenging, multi-dimensional characters. And in an industry where actors who achieve early fame are often pegged into one type of role, Bonet was determined to carve out a new space for herself. But Cosby had a different vision. He had built The Cosby Show from the ground up, crafting a narrative that would reshape how African-American families were seen on television. To him, the Huxtables were a beacon of love, success, and tradition. Bonet's pivot toward a darker, more mature role threatened that vision, and with it, the image of the perfect family that The Cosby Show had come to symbolize. The clash between Bonet's personal ambitions and Cosby's carefully controlled image was inevitable, and as time passed, the tension between them grew harder to ignore. The show was a revolutionary moment in television history, breaking barriers by offering a positive and nuanced portrayal of an African-American family at a time when such representations were scarce, if not non-existent. But Lisa Bonet's decision to star in Angel Heart, a film with explicit sex scenes, dark voodoo rituals, and intense themes, threw the spotlight on a massive clash of values with the very show that had made her a household name. Behind the scenes, tensions were mounting. Bonet's repeated absences were already raising eyebrows, but when news broke about her role in Angel Heart, the situation escalated. Bill Cosby, known for his perfectionist attitude and strict control over the show, was reportedly furious. To him, Bonet's decision was a betrayal of the wholesome, family-friendly image they had spent years cultivating. However, in a 1987 interview with Newsweek, Cosby made a shocking revelation. Contrary to what many had assumed, Cosby didn't initially object to Bonet's film role. He actually encouraged her to take it, saying, "I advised her to take the role." This surprising twist made headlines, as it contradicted the narrative that Cosby had been entirely against her decision from the start. But Cosby's support came with a twist of its own. He openly criticized Angel Heart, calling it a movie made by white America that cast a black girl, gave her voodoo things to do, and had her doing sex. To Cosby, the film represented yet another example of Hollywood exploiting black actresses in sexualized, demeaning roles. Sinbad, the comedian who couldn't help but add his own comedic spin to the drama. He described the aftermath of Bonet's film debut with a mix of disbelief and humor. Lisa wanted to go off and do other things, and she does Angel Heart. So, Angel Heart. Oh, Lisa's gonna do a movie? Okay, that's nice, that's big, that's fine. Then the movie comes out, she's naked, she's doing voodoo sex, chicken blood all over her, and everybody lost their mind. Sinbad's take might have been lighthearted, but it captured the public's jaw-dropping reaction to Bonet's drastic shift from the innocent, lovable Denise Huxtable to a seductive, dark character steeped in taboo. For fans and critics alike, it was a shocking departure that left everyone questioning, what happened to the girl we knew? The tension between Lisa Bonet and Bill Cosby wasn't just about Angel Heart or her being late to set. It was a clash of worlds. Bonet was determined to break out of the safe, predictable realm of sitcoms, while Cosby was fiercely protective of the carefully crafted image of The Cosby Show. Bonet's thirst for artistic freedom and her desire to explore deeper, more complex roles were in direct opposition to Cosby's vision of what the show and its actors should represent. This growing rift eventually led to the creation of A Different World in 1987, a spin-off meant to ease the escalating tensions between the two. Cosby was the undisputed mastermind of The Cosby Show, and his vision was clear. He wanted to showcase a perfect, uplifting portrayal of an African-American family. The world he had built was one of warmth, success, and integrity, and he guarded that image fiercely. But Bonet, who had played the beloved Denise Huxtable, began to feel stifled. She didn't just want to be typecast as the quirky, sweet daughter. She wanted to stretch her wings, to show the world she could do more. Her role in Angel Heart, a provocative film drenched in sex, mysticism, and voodoo, was her way of breaking free. For Cosby, this wasn't just a career choice. It was a betrayal of the family-friendly image he had worked so hard to cultivate. Some say he viewed Bonet's move as an act of rebellion. She was abandoning the role that made her famous, the innocent Denise Huxtable, and venturing into darker, more adult territory. It was a familiar story in Hollywood, young stars trying to shed their safe, family-friendly images to explore more grown-up roles. Much like Will Smith, who transitioned from The Fresh Prince to serious acting, Bonet was desperate to prove she wasn't just another TV star. But sometimes this was too much for Cosby. He understood Bonet's desire to grow as an actress, but he couldn't reconcile her artistic ambitions with the image of the show. It wasn't just about the character of Denise. It was about the whole show, the legacy they had created. Sinbad, a comedian who knew both Cosby and Bonet well, summed it up with humor. He recalled Cosby telling Bonet, "Wow, that might not be the look for you." He may have recognized her talent, but he wasn't convinced that Angel Heart was the right choice for someone who had become an icon of wholesome television. For Lisa Bonet, taking on Angel Heart was about far more than just making a movie. It was her way of breaking free from the sweet, innocent image of Denise Huxtable. She was determined to show the world she was more than just a TV character. Bonet craved the chance to prove herself as a serious actress, ready to take on complex, challenging roles. It was a move many stars, like Will Smith, made when they outgrew their sitcom personas. But Cosby's refusal to let go of Denise made it clear that his vision for her and hers were miles apart. Lisa had always been a force of nature, a creative spirit who couldn't be boxed in. Angel Heart wasn't just a career move, it was a bold declaration of her artistic independence. As comedian Sinbad put it, Lisa, we now know, is artistic as hell. She's always been that way. Playing Denise Huxtable on The Cosby Show was no longer enough for Bonet. The role, though iconic, was starting to feel like a cage. Her personal values, her desire for artistic growth, and her need to explore more complex characters didn't align with Cosby's vision of the perfect family-friendly sitcom. She wasn't content to stay in a role that had grown too small for her talents. She needed more, and that need for creative freedom was pushing her to break away. Tension between Bonet and Cosby was reaching a boiling point. Their relationship, once harmonious, was now strained by a growing divide. By 1987, it was clear that something had to change. The solution? A different world, a spin-off that would allow Bonet to stay within the Huxtable family, but also give her the space to explore new, more challenging roles. The show, set at Hillman College, was groundbreaking in its own right, focusing on the experiences of black college students, a demographic rarely seen on television. But just as Bonet seemed ready to embrace this new chapter, life threw her a curveball. She was pregnant. This unexpected twist didn't just shift her personal life. It shook up her professional world as well. Bonet's pregnancy would not only change her role on A Different World, but also become a key turning point in her relationship with Cosby. Enter Debbie Allen, the powerhouse director who took over A Different World in its second season. When Bonet revealed her pregnancy to Allen, rather than seeing it as a problem, Allen saw it as an opportunity to tell a powerful, real story. She envisioned a storyline where Denise Huxtable would navigate the complexities of being a college student and an unmarried mother, something never before seen on television. In an era when TV shows barely touched on real-life issues like teenage pregnancy, let alone explored them with such depth, Allen's approach was revolutionary. She knew this was a chance to challenge the status quo and give audiences something raw, authentic, and deeply relevant. The storyline would not just show Denise growing up, it would force the audience to confront issues that were often swept under the rug, all while offering a glimpse into the lives of black women rarely seen on TV. Full of excitement and ideas, Debbie Allen took her plan straight to Bill Cosby, with Lisa Bonet by her side. As soon as they sat down, Cosby cut to the chase, almost reading their minds. "What is it? Are you pregnant?" Allen then laid out her idea to incorporate Bonet's real-life pregnancy into A Different World, hoping to turn it into a powerful, relatable storyline. Allen saw this as more than just a plot point. It was a chance to give Denise Huxtable, a character already loved by viewers, a chance to experience the complexities of an unplanned pregnancy. The storyline would show Denise making her own choices, unapologetically breaking free from society's expectations of marriage and traditional family structures. It wasn't just about entertainment. It was a bold move to show real life on screen. But Cosby wasn't buying it. According to Allen, he shot down the idea with authority. No, she's pregnant. Denise Huxtable is not pregnant. Lisa Bonet is pregnant, not Denise. For Cosby, the separation between Bonet and her character was non-negotiable. He wasn't about to risk sullying the flawless image of the Huxtable family, a carefully crafted, idealized portrayal of black family life. To him, no storyline was worth jeopardizing that. Cosby's decision wasn't just about protecting Denise's character. It was about the type of show he envisioned. While A Different World had explored social issues, a plotline about teenage pregnancy felt too controversial for Cosby's taste. His shows were always designed to entertain, not provoke deep, uncomfortable conversations. And so, his vision for a wholesome, family-friendly show won out. The fallout was inevitable. Cosby's refusal to allow Bonet's pregnancy to influence A Different World effectively led to her exit from the show. It wasn't a formal firing, but it was clear that Bonet's real life and the fictional world of A Different World couldn't coexist. The tension between Bonet's desire to push artistic boundaries and Cosby's need to protect his TV family was too much. But rather than severing ties with the Huxtable universe entirely, Bonet was moved back to The Cosby Show. This wasn't a solution. It was Cosby's way of maintaining control over Bonet's narrative, keeping her within the family-friendly boundaries of the show. Yet, even this didn't resolve the conflict. Bonet's need to explore new roles and break free from her TV persona continued to clash with Cosby's desire to keep her in a box. By 1991, Bonet was written out of The Cosby Show for good. Cosby claimed that she had outgrown the role, but in reality, it was the widening gap between Bonet's evolving career and Cosby's unyielding vision for the show that ended their collaboration. What started with Bonet's desire to step away from her wholesome Cosby Show character, seeking more mature roles like Angel Heart, had grown into a deep divide. Her pregnancy was the final straw, magnifying the rift that had already begun to form between them. Then came 2015, the year that shattered Bill Cosby's carefully cultivated image as America's beloved father figure. In a sudden, devastating turn, dozens of women came forward with accusations of drugging and sexual assault, igniting a media frenzy. The world had known him as the warm, wise doctor. Huxtable from The Cosby Show, but now that charming, family-friendly persona was at odds with the man facing a flood of damning accusations. The public was left in disbelief, grappling with the idea that the man they had adored for decades could be the same person at the center of such horrific allegations. By 2018, the truth could no longer be ignored. Cosby was convicted of aggravated indecent assault against Andrea Constand, a former Temple University employee, marking a watershed moment in the Me Too movement. He was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in a Pennsylvania state prison, making him the first major celebrity to be convicted in a high-profile sexual assault case in the post-Me Too era. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond, sparking debates about legacy, accountability, and the darker side of fame. As the scandal unfolded, attention inevitably turned to his former co-stars, and Lisa Bonet, who had long distanced herself from Cosby, became the focus of public curiosity. Their relationship had been notoriously strained, with Bonet's departure from The Cosby Show and its spin-off, A Different World, fueling rumors of tension between the two. Now, in light of the allegations, people were desperate to know if she had ever suspected Cosby's dark side, if the tension between them had ever hinted at something more sinister than a professional rift. Despite the public's desire for answers, Bonet, who had largely stayed out of the spotlight, remained silent. Her choice to avoid commenting on the scandal only deepened the mystery, leaving the public to wonder, what did she know about the man behind the Huxtable family's facade? In 2018, during a candid interview with Net-a-Porter, Lisa Bonet was asked about the flood of accusations that had engulfed Bill Cosby for years. By that point, dozens of women had come forward, accusing Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting them over a span of decades. His image as America's charming fatherly figure was in ruins, and everyone wondered what Bonet, who had once starred as his daughter, Denise Huxtable, thought about it all. Would she confirm her suspicions? Would she open up about their complicated, often tense relationship behind the scenes? But Bonet didn't follow the predictable path. She didn't indulge in the drama, nor did she offer any juicy details or shocking confessions. Instead, she calmly responded, "Nope, nothing's changed. It's exactly how I remember it." Her words were simple, yet they carried an eerie weight, suggesting that her memories of Cosby were tainted by their fraught relationship. She didn't need to say more. The tension between them was already clear, both on and off screen. But then Bonet added something even more revealing. She spoke of a creepy energy she had always felt around Cosby during their time together on The Cosby Show. While she didn't accuse him of any personal misconduct toward her, her words were telling. There was something about Cosby, something in the air, that unsettled her. It was as if, even before the full scope of his actions became public knowledge, Bonet had an intuitive sense that something was deeply wrong. Her comments hinted at a feeling that had been there from the start, a quiet, gut-level awareness that Cosby, the man who had mentored her on set, was not the warm, fatherly figure he appeared to be. Bonet's instinctive discomfort was likely shared by others who worked closely with him, but Bonet's decision to speak about it, even years later, revealed just how much this vibe had lingered with her. This quiet intuition from Bonet added another layer to the already complex story of Cosby's legacy. What do you think about the conflicts between Lisa Bonet and Bill Cosby? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.